This is Salam Media, and you are tuned into the Miriam Makunda Show.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Miriam Makunda Show on Salam Media, and we are also live on Facebook. If you have any comments, queries, questions, or suggestions, you can send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061-766-0355. Alternatively, you can leave them in the comment section below. All right. So South Africa has introduced a state-of-the-art treatment for HIV and AIDS. In fact, it was introduced last year, November, and the first rollout of the test of this treatment was done on the 1st of December, which is World AIDS Day. Joining me on the line right now to talk more about this new treatment is Lungisile Koyama, who is an HIV and AIDS peer education coordinator at the University of Western Cape. Good morning, Lungisile. Yes, it is morning. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks. And yourself?
I am well. I'm doing great in the midst of everything that's currently happening, but I'm well.
All right, that is awesome. So, what is this new state-of-the-art treatment, HIV treatment that has been introduced? Well, it's not really new because it has been introduced in November, but it is because not many people know about it. What is it?
Okay, so as we all know that ARVs, antiretrovirals, they are a combination of different drugs, which is aimed at reducing the viral copies in a person who's living with HIV. So, like I said, it's a combination of drugs. So the new drug that has been introduced, of which it's not quite new, it's something that has been experimented with over the years. It's called TLD. And some people actually call it dolutegravir. So that's the popular name. It's known as dolutegravir. And dolutegravir, it has replaced one of the drugs in the ARV regimen, which is, I just want to get the name correctly. That drug, which is efavirenz. So efavirenz was one of the drugs, and it's still currently used. It's not that it has been discontinued. It's still currently used on the other regimens, but dolutegravir is much more accessible. The side effects are less, so that is why it has been introduced in South Africa. Like you said, it was rolled out in 2019 December, but before that there was an ongoing research, and it's amazing that most of the research has been done in South Africa before the drug was rolled out.
And how has it been received? What has been the response of the drug after the first rollout call?
Okay, so right now there isn't much research that has been done in terms of the response after the drug has been rolled out. But prior to the rolling out of the drug, there was a study that was conducted in Johannesburg by Wits RHI, and that study obviously focused on the demographics of South Africa. Because if, for instance, if we take a study that has been done in Madagascar, it doesn't really showcase our demographics. But if we look at a study that has been done in our own country and with the demographics that we used to, then we can rely on the drug. So after the ARV has been rolled out from December, there hasn't been much research that has been done to look at the impact or to track if people are responding well to the treatment. But prior to that, people that were part of that clinical trial, they were seen to respond much better to dolutegravir as compared to efavirenz.
Now, as you've mentioned about dolutegravir, it is a drug of choice for people living with HIV in high-income countries. So, will this affect the affordability of South Africans living with HIV?
That's a very good question. So we all know that ARVs, they can be quite expensive. And that is why when they were first rolled out, as in when they were firstly introduced after the pandemic, then people had to buy them, and which was quite expensive. And for South Africans, that was not possible until our government around 2001, 2002 decided to roll out ARVs in the public sector. And that was much better for a lot of people. But still, they're quite expensive. So dolutegravir is much cheaper compared. This combination of drugs, it's much cheaper compared to the other regimen, your TEE, that has been used in the past. So if we compare our economic status to that of countries that are doing much better than us, when we're buying the dolutegravir, it's much cheaper. So that's one of the advantages of actually using the drug. So that is why the South African government decided to accept the drug to be rolled out, because it's cheaper. So it works for everyone. And also there will be increased access to ARVs, you know, for areas where people don't have much access to a lot of health care services. So when dolutegravir has been rolled out, people can have access to it because it's not as expensive as the other regimen of ARVs.
And speaking about expenses and the economy, what will this do to help South Africa's economy, since this is a state-of-the-art treatment that is being introduced in South Africa?
So, like I've said, that dolutegravir is much cheaper as compared to the other lines of ARVs. So, meaning that if less money is being used on treatment, then more money can be used in other programs that fight or curb the spread of HIV. Like it can be used for awareness, for education, for prevention of the virus, you know, and also it can be used to ensure that people that are on treatment are adhering to the treatment. And we know that adherence is it's one of the big issues you know, in South Africa. So, and it's not only because people are experiencing side effects, there are also other psychosocial issues that people experience. So with this ARV being much cheaper compared to the other ones, then it means that people that money can actually be used for other programs within the HIV sphere.
All right. Will this be available at both private and public hospitals?
Yes, it is. It is available, but I'm not quite certain if all the facilities in South Africa currently have it. But I do know that majority of the facilities in our country, they do have dolutegravir. It has been rolled out from December last year. There are people that are on it, and there are people that wish to start on it. But also, you cannot, as an HIV positive person, just say, I want to go on dolutegravir, you know? So the healthcare professional who's assisting you has to check certain things: your weight, your viral load, your age. Do you have other illnesses? Are you on other medications, and so on and so forth? So the dolutegravir is very much available in public and private sector.
Okay, please explain to us, how does it work and how is it taken? Is it an injection? Is it a tablet to be taken daily? What does it do to the HIV, to the viral load, to the count? Please explain to us a bit.
Okay, so with ARVs, we all know that in South Africa we use tablets, so we don't use injections or patches or anything like that. So it's still a pill. So with dolutegravir, it's again, it's a combination of different drugs. So it's only one pill, and you must remember that the combination of ARVs previously, maybe you take 3-4 pills or 2 pills, but now it's only the one pill. Because you also know that there are a lot of things that happen when it comes to taking pills. Some people can actually take tablets, you know, and if you're now living with HIV, you have to take about 3 tablets. That's really too much. So dolutegravir, it's just the one pill. And also the amazing thing about it is that you don't have to take it at night, because we know that with ephedrine, it's advisable that you take it at night on an empty stomach because of the side effects. But with dolutegravir, you can take it in the morning after you've had your breakfast, and then you continue with your day. You go to work, you go to school, you you just live your best life. So that's another thing, because it has less side effects. So it's still a tablet. You take it once a day, because ARVs, you take it once a day. But the beauty about it is just it's one tablet, and you can take it either at night or in the morning.
Mm-hmm. And what does it do to the viral load? How does it decrease?
Yes, good question. Yeah. So another advantage of taking dolutegravir instead of the other lines of ARVs is that your viral suppression is much quicker. So it suppresses your viral load much quicker as compared to someone who's taking efavirenz or the other regimens of ARVs. And the reason for dolutegravir to be introduced, part of it is because of the 90-90-90 target. The target that has been set by, WHO, that all countries globally, we have to reach the target. So the first 90 being 90% of people living with HIV, they need to be aware of their statuses. The second 90% is that they have to be on medication, and the last 90, they have to be virally suppressed. So dolutegravir plays a critical role in the last 90, that you have to be virally suppressed. And when you're virally suppressed, then chances of you transmitting the virus to another person, they actually don't exist. So dolutegravir plays that role in making sure that you are virally suppressed quicker.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds amazing. Yeah. Now, we heard some time ago about a UK-based man who was cured of HIV and AIDS. Is there any known cure to HIV?
To be quite honest with you, when it comes to HIV, there are so many theories. There are so many conspiracies. If I could say that, we've heard of people that are immune to it. You can't get it. You get it maybe after a week of drinking something or doing something, then it's gone, But there is no scientific evidence. And if you in the line of HIV work, you always have to rely on scientific evidence, because anyone can come up with their own theories that have never been proven and say, no, I was infected in 2018 and now 2019 I checked and I'm negative. But where's the evidence to support that? So there's really no evidence. I've never seen, maybe it is somewhere out there, I don't know. I've never seen evidence that says this person has been living with HIV, they've been on medication, and then by some miracle, the person got cured. And we know even with other viruses that there really isn't a cure, but there is treatment to manage the virus, just like ARVs. They are there to manage, to make sure that the virus in your body does not multiply, but you are still living with HIV.
Mm-hmm. And then what about patients who do have TB, tuberculosis? Will this affect them in any way, or will it also sort of help to manage the TB?
The beauty of treatments is that when you start a different treatment, you're on your TB medication, or you're on your diabetes medication, or whatever medication that you might use. With dolutegravir, it's been known that it has no interaction with other drugs. The studies that are available now, it has shown that it has no interaction with the other drugs. So I can still be using my tuberculosis medication and still be on dolutegravir. And especially with the study that was done in Johannesburg, there's no interaction, But what I can advise people to do is, if you are someone that is living with HIV and then you get infected with TB, obviously the rule is you have to consult your healthcare professional and say, listen, I'm on ARVs and this is the regimen that I'm using. Is this going to cause issues with my TB medication? Because we also have to know that people's immune systems are not the same. So in as much as there will be evidence out there, maybe someone might react differently. So it's always advisable that you always go to your doctor, to your nurse, and say, this is happening, I'm experiencing some changes, I'm using TB medication. Is it going to affect my HIV status? What can I do? But with the available evidence, a TB medication and dolutegravir, there's no conflict.
Mm-hmm. All right. It sounds like
Yeah.
dolutegravir is the magic pill that people have been waiting for, that we have been waiting for. So I just
Yeah.
hope that there will be more continued tests and more responses, because it is a bit difficult to do some tests because we have another pandemic that we have to
Yeah.
deal with. So we're more
Exactly.
focused on the coronavirus pandemic. So it's a bit difficult to
Mm.
get to do other tests. So I hope
Yeah.
after this pandemic, we'll be able to get some more tests done on dolutegravir and all the people that were on this since they
Yeah.
conducted the rollout in December. But thank you so much for your time, Lungisile, and have a lovely day.
Thank you so much for inviting me into the space. And like you said, hopefully moving forward, there will be more studies done to show that the drug actually is much more effective as compared to the other lines of ARVs. And please do keep safe during this time.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Lungisile Koyama telling us about the new state of, well, it's not really new, but it's a state of the art HIV treatment that was introduced last year, November, and the first tests went out on the 1st of December, which is World AIDS Day in South Africa. As she mentioned, the key drug there, dolutegravir, being like the magic pill that we've been waiting for. And hopefully, once the lockdown and once the coronavirus pandemic is manageable, we'll be able to get some more information about this new treatment and how people are responding to the treatment, what it's doing for the immune system, for their viral count, etc., etc. And yeah, well, it is good news to know that South Africa is taking the leap, to being the forefront against this fight of HIV and AIDS. And kudos to our scientists and everybody who's involved in doing this and getting it done, because we are we are the country with the largest number of people living with HIV and AIDS across the globe. Those are very, very shocking statistics, shocking numbers. So obviously, if South Africa decides to take the stand and run with this, then we are behind you guys all the way, and we fully support what you're doing for the people of the country. We are going to take a break, so do stay with us. We will be back.